Hey, it's your old pal Gratu Orloff, and getting into the Christmas spirit here, December 23rd, 2021, in the year of our Lord. And um, President Brandon said to make sure to wear these even indoors because it's going to be another dark winter of suffering and death. But I'm going to break the rules and take this off. Ladies and gentlemen, just remembering all my dead homies, all my friends that have come into my life, and on this somber Christmas Eve, and we're gonna have it do a comic book haul and just bemoaning the state of the world. I was just thinking about an old friend of mine named Tom, who I've told you this story before. Well, because the Matrix, the new Matrix movies downstairs on HBO Maximus, and in the movie theaters, it's I don't know, the Matrix Recollections or something. It's some new exciting Matrix movie. So. And I was just thinking, and Keanu Reeves has a comic book that he puts out called Berserker, and he's going to be turning that into a movie on Netflix or something, which is actually brilliant. Keanu Reeves is a cool guy, even though I hear that this new Matrix movie is terrible. But that movie wouldn't exist if it wasn't for my friend Tom. Tom, my old friend who's passed away, he's one of my homies that's no longer here. But anyway, he was special effects coordinator on a movie called Freaked. And Keanu Reeves was working on that movie with his Bill and Ted buddy, Alex Winter. Alex Winter was directing, right? So it's a cool movie, Freaked. I recommend you watch it on Christmas Eve. But anyway, and you can see my friend Tom in it. I think he was French kissing a goat or a goat person or something in one little quick scene. But anyway, so they're filming in LA, and all of a sudden the LA riots break out back in the 90s. Remember all that stuff? Well, so anyway, there's fire and gunshots all around them because they're filming right in the heart of it. And the producers take off from the set in helicopters and abandon everyone there. Now, my friend Tom is a big advocate of gun rights, right? So he always had a gun. Of course, the liberals there in California and Hollywood would make fun of my friend, say, you're the big Texan. Well, they weren't making fun of him that day because he was the only one that had a gun. Well, anyway, he got in his 1957 Cadillac, and he got Keanu Reeves in there into his, and they drove right through to escape all the thick of all the flames and all that. And but my friend drove. I'll pretend that this tape dispenser is a gun, so he has it in his hand as he's driving, so anyone thinking of attacking this 50s Cadillac can see that he's armed, and so they got through unscathed. So that was a story I always heard about how my friend potentially saved Keanu Reeves' life. Although everyone else that was on the set that didn't have my friend driving them out apparently survived. So maybe, Keanu Reeves would have been fine. But it's a great story, right? And then a couple of years ago, like right as the flu fad was starting, right around December of 2019, right? My wife went to meet a friend in San Francisco to go see, what is the idiot, maybe he's not an idiot, that was in the band Faith No More. Anyway, he's like this experimental musician, and all the punk rock girls think he's just a genius. But anyway, he was doing a concert with Laurie Anderson, and already that was a bad sign, Laurie Anderson. So it was some experimental concert where they're making up the music as they go along. Terrible music. My wife confirmed that she didn't know who Laurie Anderson was. I said, I could have warned you, because back in the 80s, she would come on Night Flight, and I would be up. Maybe I should just go to bed, instead of staying up. Night Flight used to be an all-night show on the USA Network that showed old videos and cartoons and cool new music videos, but sometimes they get something really lame like Laurie Anderson. But anyway, he was doing a concert with her. You don't know where I'm going with this story. Well, my wife goes to the refreshment stand, and right next to her in line is Keanu Reeves and his girlfriend. And she said Keanu Reeves was just super tall and very skinny, and his face was real skinny. And I don't know, maybe you could tell me what movie he might have been filming then, if he was even filming a movie around the end of 2019. But anyway, he said she said he was really friendly, and his girlfriend was just this beautiful little girl that just kept smiling at my wife, and someone that's not vain. I mean, she just let her hair be natural, didn't try to disguise the gray in her hair. But anyway, she was just talking to Keanu Reeves, and my wife's friend was like coming up and, oh no, you shouldn't be bothering him. Oh, he's like a god. But she just didn't. She's talking to him, and just like he's not anybody. She didn't ask for his autograph, and I think she's probably appreciated being treated by like a human being. Well, that reminds me of something else. I'll tell you that in a minute. I'll get to the comic books later. Just don't worry about it. Anyway, so she asked him about our friend Tom, because my wife met Tom before he passed away. I knew Tom since 1984. So she knew him in his last years. But anyway, so she asked him about Tom. He says, didn't I work with him on the movie Freaked? And he remembered. You kind of remember when someone drives you out of the LA riots, but he was a real nice guy and everything. So, that reminds me of a really great radio show, and I think I found it again. I checked it out of the library when I was a kid. I used to go to the library, the downtown Grotuville Public Library, and in the basement is where they had all their media, right? So you could check out Super 8mm films or 16mm films. You could check out cassettes, records. This is all before CDs and all that. Probably even reel-to-reel tapes. But I would check out records with old radio shows, old-time radio shows from the 30s and 40s. And then I'd bring the records home, and I'd set up my childhood tape recorder next to my childhood phonograph, and I'd record these old radio shows, which I loved. I've always loved the stuff from the past, from before I was born. Anyway, look at me being like Comic Book Tom. Here. Because I only have 300, I just got another subscriber. Thank you, whoever you were. So I'm back up to 323. I lost a subscriber. For some reason, someone didn't like Santa Claus or something. They unsubscribed. I got a new subscriber. But I only have 23 subscribers. But Comic Book Tom, not my old friend Tom that passed away, the guy that has 5 million subscribers. He has glasses, and he flails around like this. Hey, it's Comic Book Tom. I'm going to tell you about speculating on the best books, the top 10 books of the slab, the 9.8. And then, I thought I saw a necklace here. Where the fuck? Oh, it's on Superman here. And then he always has his friend, Jim Mint Collectibles, who also has 50 million subscribers. And then he sits there, and he's got all his omnibuses behind him, probably $50,000 of omnibuy behind him, and he always buys these gigantic statues, comic book statues, and he goes, yo, Comic Book Tom, yes, today we are going to be talking about the greatest, raddest comics that are for you to speculate on. And then it'll cut back to Comic Book Tom. I'm not knocking them. They're just I think people like more lively stuff. I only get older people watching my channel. And then Comic Book Tom will go, that's right. The book to speculate on is this Swamp Thing Annual, because it has the first appearance of a blah blah blue blop that's going to be in a DC movie. Yeah, that kind of shit. So To all my homies I've loved before, who traveled in and out my door, I dedicate this song, to all the homies I've loved before. And then Willie Nelson's part comes on, and then he goes something like this. I dedicate this song. No, I'm getting, that's a New York accent. I gotta get the high-pitched and the Texas accent. I've never practiced it. I dedicate this song to all the homies I've loved before. It must be hard for Willie Nelson to hold his nose while he's strumming his guitar. His guitar, man. Well, you came here to see comic books, but you're not going to see them for a while. So you might want to fast forward. Well, last night it was on Graphic Man's amazing Christmas live stream. You should go watch that on Graphic Man's channel. That was cool. I got to meet Howler Mouse. I've been watching his channel for years. Oh, look at this present I got. It's the 1950 Batmobile. Yeah, I know it's a Funko Pop, but look, he's drawn like Dick Sprang. Look at the shading there. So I got to get this thing out because I got a collection of Batmobiles in the other room, and I got to put them with it. Your true collectors keep everything in the box, but I'm not one of those people. Oh man, this is freaking cool. Look at that. Yeah, I'll go put this with the others here in a minute. Oh, the new issue of the Vampirella clone came out yesterday, Vampirus Carmilla. But it was damaged, and there was only one copy ordered for me. Yeah, it has these printing problems. See that in the white shit. Unacceptable. So another copy was ordered for me, but I was told I could take this one. It's issue number 7. Yeah, and so inside it looks like an old Warren magazine. This guy's trying to look like Steve Ditko. My problem doesn't have all the ads at the back, which were, to me, the first thing I looked at in a Warren magazine. Well, it does have some. It has an ad for Frazetta's. But yeah, this is that company that this company does a pretty good job recreating the old Warren comics of the 70s. And comics would be spelled with an X. And look, it looks like an old ad for the back issues of Famous Monsters, but instead it's Monster Bash, which is a magazine I don't ever see. Probably if I went to the mall, to Barnes & Noble, I would, I Buy Old Records just put up a video. See, I'm recording on my phone and I get the little notifications at the top. That's Max Stevens. He's a local guy, although I think he's going to be moving to Argentina soon, which might be a good idea. I don't know. This country's doing pretty well. I think Brandon's doing a pretty good job. I don't know. Christmas time. Christmas time in Gratuittville. Yeah, it's always a time for sober and somber reflection on the year past, and all the Christmases before, and some of the Christmas songs can, if you're not an idiot, can really bring a tear to your eyes. You know, like hearing Judy Garland sing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." If you really think about that song, I mean, that came out during World War II, right? You know, so someday soon we all may be together, if the fates allow, which is really cool, fates, because it makes it sound like it's an old-timey song back from Middle Ages when people believed in the fates, you know, the Norn sisters that would, when you were born, they would cut a string, and no matter where they cut it, is that depending on how long a string was cut, is how long you'll live. But apparently the songwriter for Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas said he really wanted it to be, if someday soon we all may be together if the Lord allows, but he was told to change it. He said that when he was older, and when it was being performed in a church, he says, no, sing Lord instead of Fates, and he says, that's the way I meant it to be. And who knows? And Sinatra, when he sings it, he makes it a little less sad. He changes one of the lines, I think. I forget which line. You can listen and find out on the wonderful Spotify app. Listen to the Judy Garland version and the Sinatra version. Although I was having fun with Spotify for a little bit, I created a playlist that goes literally for a week without repeating a song. If you just put it on random. Go look for Gratu Orloff's music for music to read comic books by is what it's called. And if you're going to go on a long drive to go to your relatives on Christmas, you could listen to my playlist. And there's only a couple of songs that might offend you by G.G. Allen or N.W.A., but most of it's all very family friendly and great. And then I did another one called like Radio Gratu or something like that, Gratu Orloff Radio. And then I started doing a Christmas one. But then, I got on Spotify and it was all great, except they don't have some songs, like you can't get the Teen Titans theme by Puffy Amy Yumi. That's not on there. You can't get Nobody Loves the Hulk by the Traits. You get some modern band recording and it's terrible. So YouTube really is a better source for music than Spotify. Anyway, so it was going great. And then all of a sudden it was like real hard to use one morning. And then I realized, for the first few weeks they give it to you like they try to sucker you in like a drug dealer, and they give you like the version that people pay for and that's easy to use and doesn't have ads, and then they pull the rug out from under you, and then it's real hard to use, and then they want you to pay for it. But I'm not some millennial idiot that's going to pay for music when I've got all these records and I know how to get music. I'll get it from YouTube. If I have to suffer through an ad, I will. I'm not paying for it. Okay, so with no further ado, well, this is a comic book haul video, but I'll haul the comics out in a little bit. I haven't done a video in a while. Actually, I did a bunch. I did a live stream a couple of days ago. I just streamed last year's Christmas shows, this year's Christmas shows, and let it go. I went to see Spider-Man while the live stream was going. I just made a playlist and it played. And a lot of drive-in ads, and then I think I went 14 hours with the thing. I had to shut it off because I was going to bed. But it only saves 12 hours, so that's just a little thing to know if you get into StreamYard. You can't do a stream that's longer than 12 hours. That's all the memory that StreamYard will give you on YouTube. How about that? How about that one? Well, I think it's time for my boot heels to be wandering. Let's go put this Batmobile with its brothers and sisters to form a community. Boy, I hate that word, community. Man, we got to be a comic book neighborhood, not a comic book community. I heard Nerdrotic say the same thing. Gary Nerdrotic. So I've got all these Batmobiles here, but I don't know if I can even get over there, man. How did I get all this shit here? What the? I'll put the Batmobile over here. Or will I? Oh, this is a new acquisition. Josh Randall, Steve McQueen from Wanted, Dead or Alive, the television show. And I got the thing not too long ago. You saw that unboxed here on the Gratu Orloff channel. There's Ed Gein. That's a bust that was commissioned by my friend Tom, the guy that saved Keanu Reeves' life. He used to sell that in the back page of Psychotronic magazine. But I got a new bust. No, I'm not a stripper. I didn't get that kind of bust. I got a new bust of, what was it? Not the original Captain Marvel. That would be cool. No, the the Marvel Captain Marvel from the 60s. So I got to make room for that. So let me do that. I'll move the Green Goblin over. Oh, guys, you guys have... You should take two. Have you seen the new Spider-Man movie? It's fantastic. I won't be doing any spoilers, but I'll let you know that it is a great film. No politics, really. Maybe a little, and without spoiling anything, because this was already a factor in the last movie. J. Jonah Jameson is portrayed as Alex Jones. I mean, completely as Alex Jones, to the point where he's hawking vitamin D supplements. And Alex Jones went, I heard him on the radio, he went to see the movie because he heard he's basically in it, which he is. And the mall in Austin where he was going to see it was closed because of a bunch of snatch and grabs. That's how bad crime is getting in these Democrat-run cities. So he wasn't able to see it, but I don't know if he's seen it yet, but I think he'll actually be amused by it because he has a sense of humor. But I mean, if they were trying to demonize Alex Jones, I think it'll backfire because it'll probably make more people watch his show because J. Jonah Jameson's always been a lovable character. Like people loved Dr. Smith. Yeah. Okay, I'm coming in here to get the Captain Marvel bust. Don't worry, I'll show you the comic books. Don't worry about that, man. Just calm your jets. Okay. Put that there. I got I think it glows in the dark, possibly. A Funko Pop Ratfink. What do you think of that? Pretty cool. Got that as a Christmas present. We'll put him up here. How does that look? Okay. Now, there's that wonderful painting that Meyer Greenblatt sent me. Hope you're doing great, Meyer, on this Christmas. Miss you on the Graphic Man 4-Color Fossils live stream. I saw your video the other day. Where do I put this Batmobile, man? Moving around like that John Travolta meme from Pulp Fiction where he's kind of moving around like he's confused. Yeah, shit. It's a Thursday morning here in Grotuville. Christmas Eve. I don't know if I'll just set it down here. What the hell? What else did I need to do? Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to look at some comic books. Oh, I went in there to get a bust, and all I did was put down the Batmobile. God damn. Godfrey Daniels, I should say. I just stopped cursing that way. I know it's probably why it limits my viewers, because people are offended by my fucking cursing. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's do an unboxing. Stay. Fucker. Okay. It's one of these old Bowen busts. I don't want to destroy the box because that's part of its collectible value, of course. What the fuck? Yeah, so someday soon we all will be together if the fates allow. Shine put a shining star upon the highest bough. Yeah. Did it arrive yet? I'll keep an eye out. All right, thank you. Waiting for a package from Klaus Schwab. He's sending me an AOK package. He sent me some comic books like a month or so ago. Was that 2 months ago, Klaus Schwab? He said, gonna send some more around Christmas. So they either got to arrive today or tomorrow, because I don't think they deliver on Christmas Day. Oh, you're not seeing the unboxing. It's so exciting. Oh my gosh. There he is. He looks angry as frick. I'm mad as hell. I'm not gonna take it anymore. The Satanic New World Order. Fuck you. Yeah. Captain Marvel. It's number. Who the fuck knows? Is there a number on there? Yeah. I think it says 2007 of something. Probably 5 million. Someday soon. Can't get that song out of my head. Well, it was cool last night. Captain Strangelove dropped in. And a lot of cool people there. Alright. Oh, I got a stack for just a few dollars, literally just a few dollars, of a bunch of Beatles magazines yesterday. And boy, do they smell wonderful, and I'm not being sarcastic. I've always loved this picture. Look at that. I gotta get some archival tape, because some of these things do not, the covers are detached. The hit dance, the Beatle, How to Dance the Beatle. You remember that dance? I guess this magazine was trying to create a new dance craze. Yeah, this is all, you can tell, a single owner collection. Some crazy girl that did not treat her magazines too well. Maybe that's her there. All about the Beatles. Yeah. Somehow this was mixed in. The Ultimate Guide to Star Trek. Alright, so, isn't that cool? Oh, and there was also a copy of Liberty. This is a magazine that my dad used to sell when he was a little boy. What you should know about television. Yeah, because they brought Liberty back in the 70s, and it was like a nostalgia magazine. And I remember getting it, and my dad said, oh, I used to sell that when I was a kid. So, Liberty. Ad for Old Crow on the back. People used to drink a lot more and a lot more heavily. This is August of '49, yeah. You will see, if you get old time Newsweek magazines that were aimed at guys in their 40s, yeah, that had fought in World War II, 30s and 40s, every ad is for liquor. Heavy alcoholism. Because of what they'd seen, man. They saw horrible things, man. Horrible things. World War II was like no joke, man. Just like Captain Marvel's no joke. I thought Captain Marvel was a blonde woman. What do you mean? That's not Captain Marvel. So fucking morons. Alright. Let's put Captain Marvel in his proper place. Here's some of the remains, the detritus, however you pronounce that word, the remains of Christmas past. Remember getting that in Christmas of '78, more than likely. That's that Screen a Show. I would say that's Christmas of '74, possibly. Starbird, Christmas of, I think that was Christmas of '77, possibly '78. Who knows? Okay. There he's being positioned. Giant man. Okay, so there's our new. Can you see that? No. What a Santa. Oh, look, Frosty the Snowman. Santa Claus has come to town. And another Frosty the Snowman. Amazing. Okay. Still recording. 30 minutes in. People don't like the short videos. Whenever I do a video under 2 hours, I don't get many views. I did an amazing interview with Santa Claus. I don't think it's gotten 150 views because it was only like an hour and a half. People like my shows that are over 2 hours. That's what I found statistically. By analyzing the data. Dr. Fauci and I were analyzing the data, and that's what we determined. All right. No further ado. Well, I got this not too long ago at an antique mall for basically nothing. It's a collection of Howard the Duck stories. Yeah. Maybe this is an epic collection. I don't know. These are actually pretty well done. What the hell? That's what they all say. Merry Christmas. That's what they all say. Okay. This could be your head if you're Nancy Pelosi. Looks just like her. Well, it's too fat, isn't it? She's more thin. Every man, woman, and child in the world vanished. Please, God, help me. I don't want to be the last man on earth. You don't see references to God on the cover of comic books very often. Look at this ad. Tarzan down in the hollow earth. Pellucidar. Where he discovered pom-poms, which is a candy I don't think I've ever tried. Still selling the giant Frankenstein poster. Something I never had. This comic's in pretty good shape. Here's one of those Hostess fruit pie ads. Which reminds me, I haven't had breakfast. A Hostess fruit pie would be a delicious and nutritious meal for my breakfast. All right. That's Superman number 294 if you want to order it from comicshop.com. Here's an Alex Ross cover of Wizard. Let me tell you about Alex Ross. People say, well, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, they couldn't wear their uniforms, their outfits from the comic in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It would just look too silly. Well, that's not gonna fit. Alex Ross makes all of those arguments nonsense, because if you just because Alex Ross shows that all these outfits, if you just do them right, if you cast the movie right, people will accept them. Because again, no spoilers on the Spider-Man movie that came out last Friday, but I was watching and I thought to myself, this looks like an Alex Ross painting come to life. And that's all you gotta do. Just make it look like the comic book panels come to life. This looked interesting, like something I wanted to read. Death of Innocence. It's about landmines. It's like a public service announcement about landmines.
Happy birthday! Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soldier.
Oh shit. That's gonna give me. I already probably have 50 million copyright strikes on this video. Alright, let's turn that down a little bit. Anyway, wasn't Paul McCartney's bride blown up by a landmine? Isn't that why she has no, like, one leg or something? I forget. I know that after Linda passed away, he married someone else that had one leg, it seemed like. I don't know. Don't recall. But yeah, a friend of mine was swearing last week that his brother told him that his brother had seen an interview with Ringo Starr where Ringo admits, yes, it's true, Paul did die back in 1966. And so my friend was telling us that Paul McCartney, it's an imposter ever since then. Now, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Oh well. What the F? Oh, that's a Golden Age bag. Okay. That's why it doesn't fit. I don't need a Golden Age bag for this one. Okay. Let me put that over here. This is a Whitman. See, the Whitman logo replaces the Gold Key logo on comics that were sold in 3-packs. And they would sell those more in toy stores. Army bases would have these 3-packs. That's where I would buy them. And it would say Whitman instead of Gold Key. And the Overstreet price guide used to say that they were virtually worthless, the Whitman variants, because they were reprints. And then later it turned out that wasn't true, that they were actually first printings. It's just at a certain point, as the presses were going through, they would stop the presses and then they would just lay that element of the Whitman thing over the Gold Key logo and then continue printing. So now everybody is looking for the Whitman variants because there's fewer of them. It's one of those collecting quirks, like some people like the Mark Jewelers inserts, which are, you can usually feel it in a comic book. It almost feels like there's a backing board inside, because there's right in the inside, where the staples are, there's a cardboard 2-page little insert advertising rings and jewelry, mostly rings, from a company called Mark Jewelers, and that was only put into comics that were sold on military bases. So the guys that were like stationed in Japan or Germany or wherever could buy rings for their sweeties back in the States or something. So that's a thing. Those are, if you get a Mark Jewelers variant, people pay more for them. And sometimes you can tell because there's a little star stamped on, usually on the front, sometimes on the back of the comic, and that would be stamped at the time of purchase to show you'd paid for it or whatever. Because oh, I'm got a low battery. Oh, that's terrible. Let me go get my power cable. Here's another copy of Uncle Scrooge. Let's go get the battery cable. Man, I thought it would last longer than that. This happened last video. I ran out of power, and that stinks, man. Right in the middle of the comic book haul. Alright, let's go get it. Where did my snowman go? Oh my gosh, morons. They don't know that snow melts. Fools. What fools these morons be. Maybe I don't need to act like Comic Tom. Maybe I just need more culture on the Grudge Warlock show. Maybe I need to be more Shakespearean. Maybe see, what could I say? Something like, there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamed of in your philosophy, Fellatio. Let us not tarry. Let us go downstairs and obtain the electrical cord cable for thine telephone. All right. We're downstairs, man. How about that? Boy. Come on, electrical cable. I've obtained the electrical cable. After crossing great rivers of fire and blood, I've obtained the electrical charging cable for the iPhone. Yeah, I think with more culture, with more like Masterpiece Theater, we can have a better Christmas show, right? That's me in 5th or 6th grade. It's horrible, isn't it? All right. Wonder what time it is, man. I know. I'll turn on the radio, and if Glenn Beck started, I'll know it's after 9 o'clock a.m. That's the only way I can tell time upstairs. Oh, shit. Sinatra's gonna get me a copyright strike, man. What am I thinking?
And the Ad Council. KLIF can be heard on the FM. If you have a newer vehicle, go to klif.com/FM to learn how. This is real news and information. 570 KLIF. KLIF.com. I'm Chris Foster. A second pill to treat coronavirus infection made by Merck has federal approval the day after Pfizer's. Another 238,000 new COVID-19 cases in 2024
Christmas.
In the U.S.
It's probably 9 o'clock, more than likely. It's probably the 9 o'clock news break. So it's 9 o'clock. How about that one? The only problem is I'm going to have to unplug the light in order to... where's the cord? Okay. Fuckers. Have yourself a scary little Christmas. Free torques and freaks. Hey, well. Where's the fucking... Well. Stop that bad language, Gratu. Okay. Plug you in. Turn on, tune in, drop out with Gratu Orlov. That'd be a good title for this episode. Don't you think? Alright, that's probably good enough. We'll have to use this old lantern for light. Will that work? The answer is no. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well. Whether it is nobler to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to, fucking shit. I've had this since second grade. I got it in a Stuckey's. It's one of my cherished possessions. If anything happens to me and my wife's watching this video, she needs to know how important this is. Alas, poor Batman. I knew him well. Bruce Wayne. Oh, lovely chap. Let's see here. Okay. Why, it's another copy of Uncle Scrooge. Another Whitman. That's the last thing I heard before the opening strains of John Williams' music in the first the real Star Wars movie from 1977. The General Cinema opening. Shit. Uncle Scrooge.
Your cheating heart will make you weep.
Uncle Scrooge. Yeah, a lot of Whitman Uncle Scrooges here this morning. So what are you guys doing for Christmas? I asked you that before and no one responded. This is, I got this, but it's bagged by like a clown. So let's get this into a decent bag. And that'll give us a chance. I just got these last week. And I have not... Secret Agent, the Iron Man with a steel fist, Sarge Steel. So Sarge Steel is now Secret Agent. Kind of like Sergeant Fury became Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Charlton had took an old war hero and made him into a secret agent. And you know, the artwork is a lot better than you normally see in a Charlton. Oh, this is Tiffany Sem. Wow. I showed this on Graphic Man's channel last week. And Eric Breen just pulls out another copy of Secret Agent from his magic couch. Everything just appears. Fred Flicks just posted 1 hour of classic TV closing themes. Fred Flicks is amazing. The stuff he posts, just look on YouTube. FredFlix, all one word. You will be highly entertained. Perhaps your family will be too on Christmas Day if you put that on. I'm actually serious, depending on how cool your family is. I don't even, what is this? Oh, it's a Vertigo comic. I don't know what it is. I guess I'll find out. Fables. It says new storyline. Who writes new storyline on the front of their comic? Obviously they do. Oh, this is some good music. It's the Comic Tom theme. Slabbed in 9.8 and coming up high on the chart for this week. It's this new issue of everyone's looking for this issue because it's the first appearance of blah 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 blah, and it has Salvador Dali on the back. It's like they've got an electrified anal probe in his butt. God damn it. I bought this from a homeless man, so I think I'll get rid of this. In fact, I'm going to go wash my hands afterwards because he was... never mind. I won't get into that. Ooh, here's a different... It's like Charles Atlas writing you a personal letter. Well, it's a Lois Lane from the 10-cent era. I got it for virtually nothing. But this needs a Golden Age bag. Ah, well, it's a good thing I just had that Golden Age bag. I just discovered it and put it right in there. ...2022. What will happen that year? Probably horrible. False flags. Prison camps. Who knows what will happen? I've been listening to a lot of Alex Jones, so listen to me. Probably it will be a one... Oh, it won't even fit in this box. So when you get Golden Age books, you got to put them like into a magazine box. I guess they make Golden Age sized boxes, but I don't have enough Golden Age comics to have actually pondered this. Okay, this is a recent reprint. I think last week they did it. Then this week they restarted King Conan at Marvel. Yeah, this is the other book I got from that dude. That dude, man. On a dude ranch. I like these books. They're worthless. They just reprint little panels from it. Just tells the history of the Marvel Universe and in text with little panels illustrating from the original stories. This is a wonderful cover. Wish we had better light, but the fates did not allow that. Someday soon, we may have better lighting, if the fates or the Lord allows. And until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. This will help me get. So have yourself a happy little grotto now. This is the best lighting ever, right? I'll just hold it like this. Do any YouTube channels do this?
Joyous additions to this season of goodwill.
Someday soon we all may have no electricity if the Chi-Coms decide that's the case.
When the family, both old and young, unite in love and understanding. With all
more Uncle Scrooge.
Holiday season.
And of course this is Christmas themed because Uncle Scrooge is based on Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Carol, right? So any Uncle Scrooge comic is technically a Christmas comic. How about that? I just thought of that.
Friends, neighbors, and businessmen add season's greetings.
If you haven't watched my Santa Claus interview, you need to go watch that. Well, I bought this for my wife. The Smurfs #1. I was an OG Smurfs idiot because in 1969, 1970, my dad was stationed in Germany, and I would get these little things at the German toy stores, little blue guys. They were Smurfs, and I didn't know anything about them. They were just kind of cool looking. And then I guess about 10 years later, about 1979, all of a sudden the Smurfs make it to the United States, and here I am living in Grottouville, Texas, and all of a sudden everyone knows what Smurfs are. And I said, hey, I knew about those 10 years ago, man. I'm like one of those punk rockers. Yeah, I was into the Ramones way back in 1977. And yeah, I saw the Misfits in concert. And, you know, I'm cool. Man, my friend, good friend of mine was at the Sex Pistols show at the Longhorn Ballroom in Dallas, man. So that makes him an OG or an OJ or an OP or whatever the hell the youngsters say. He's an original gangster. What fun it is to laugh and sing in a sleigh ride or whatever tonight. Speaking of Christmas, the Crypt of Shadows. Yeah, Marvel horror. I gotta have better lighting. This is just outrageous. Oh, I know what to do. I did it last time. I have to. We'll do it again. We did it before and we can do it again. Yes, we can do it again. We did it before. Look at that. We did it once. Nothing but professionalism here on the Gratu Orloff 24 hour a day inspirational network. What time is it, man? Would you put down in the comments below what time it is so I will know? Because I don't want to be late here. Okay. Fantagraphics. Panrific. Isn't that what, Oh shit, it says low power mode. Why? Did it unplug? What? Yeah, it sure did. Sure did. Unplug, low power mode. Shit. What is wrong with you? Well, I think that fixed our problem. All right. This never happened to Pat Robertson on his inspirational network. All these camera problems. You guys need to start sending some money on PayPal to Gratu Orloff so I can get a better setup. Okay, so we're talking about Crypt of Shadows number 3, back in the wonderful 20-cent era. I loved these comics in 3rd grade, and what they are, it's reprinting horror stories from the pre-code era at Marvel. They're just not the more bloody, they're just great stories. Some of them are drawn by Bill Everett and stuff. Here's another Uncle Scrooge. It's a Whitman variant. And in this, they got Jamie Summers all happy being hooked up to the new Facebook, what is it called? Neuro? What is it? What is Facebook being called now? Meta. You're going to be able to go into a virtual reality world controlled by Mark Zuckerberg. It's going to be so much fun. And you can be a bear or a fairy or anything you'd want to be. You could be a ninja. More Uncle Scrooge. More Uncle Scrooge. Oh. Ah. It's Where Monsters Dwell, number 7, with Rambu. These are people running from Rambu. His very name made mankind tremble. Let's go, Rambu. But, you know, it's good. You can become a computer programmer. This is where Bill Gates got his start, from this ad in Where Monsters Dwell, number 7. And now he's a mad scientist that's trying to eliminate half or more than half of the population of the earth. He's a wonderful citizen. The thing with the red eyes. Yep. Oh, there's Rambu, man. Except he's green here, and he's brown on the cover. I should send that in and get my no prize. Epic new Moon Knight comic book run to get you caught up for the Disney Plus series. It says at the top of my phone. Yeah. That's alright. If it's a new series, I don't think I'm interested. But Boris Karloff, I'm all in. Oh, I didn't even finish my story. I was telling you earlier about going to the library when I was a kid, and I would check out those old radio shows on record, and then I never got to the story. Anyway, one of them that I checked out, I think it was an episode of a radio show called Suspense. There was Suspense, there was Inner Sanctum, that opened with a squeaky door. The EC Mad comic book did a parody of Inner Sanctum called Outer Sanctum. And they had a host named Raymond, very much like the EC comics had hosts. And later the DC horror comics had hosts. Even Charlton did that. But it all goes back to old radio when there were these spooky hosts for the horror radio shows, and each week there'd be a different story written by a different writer and different actors. It's like the Twilight Zone. But that's probably copywritten. Anyway, so there was one in the 30s called The Witch's Tale, which is very much the old witch from EC. Anyway, there was an episode with Boris Karloff, who is a Christmas name from, obviously, The Grinch That Stole Christmas. But this was a Christmas episode of a horror radio show. And I'm going to, every year I try to remember what that is and try to find it. And I think I found it last year. I've forgotten since then. But anyway, it was a story where a crazed murderer escapes from prison, right? And it's Christmas Eve. And it's Boris Karloff, right? And so basically the story, he's running from the police, and he breaks into this house to get away from the police, and there's a little kid in there. The little kid thinks this must be Santa Claus. So he didn't want the kid to scream because the police are hunting outside the houses. So he just says, "Yeah, kid, I'm Santa Claus." And so he has to entertain this kid and basically babysit this kid and pretend to be Santa Claus so that the police will not get him. And at the end, I don't know what happens. Somehow the police do capture him, and as he's being taken off, they said, "You old mug, what are you?" Anyway, he just says, it was nice, because he was a real insane killer. He says, "It was nice to be human again, if only for a little while." And I just love that line at the end of that episode of whatever show that was. And boy, it's cool that I remembered that. That comic book spurred my memory and caused me to go back. It's fascinating when I watch my shows, the way that my brain works. You may not find it interesting. Eric Breen says it's kind of interesting the way but it's like, it's almost like a way of doing psychoanalysis on yourself. If you just do a stream of consciousness podcast on YouTube and then watch it and see how your brain works and how this thing reminds you of that thing, it's kind of interesting. Whatever. Oh, okay. Well, these comics with dots on them, no pun intended, little dot. Duncanville Books in Duncanville. It's kind of cool when it's by chance. It's called Duncanville Books and it's in Duncanville. It's kind of weird how that turned out. Anyway, um, I'm trying to remember how the dot system works. Yeah, green dots means it's they have a $5 bin and they have a $2 bin and then they have a half price bin. They have different sections in their store. Well, this was in the $5 bin, but right now until December 31st, they're having a half off the $2 books and half off the $5 books. So I got this for $2.50, a little dot. And Freddie. This is about a young Freddy Krueger before he was burned in acid. They're fighting over him. Uncle Sam and his girlfriend. I need to rebag this one. A romance comic. Don't be a fool, Monica. You can't run off and marry Dorian. Why, he's twice your age. Of course, they make it Dorian, like Dorian Gray. Only DC dares tell what happens when a girl tries to find love with an older man. See, he's got some gray hair. Also, suppose you had 12 hours to make a man fall in love with you. Could you do it? And before you answer, read 12 hours to make him love me. So it's Falling in Love, number 77. And here's Girls Love, number 146. You've got to decide one of us has to go. I can't. I don't know which one of you I love. It's like a reverse Archie situation, right? I think I already have this, and I probably have 3 copies of it, but I got it anyway, because for $2.50, I think I kind of got to get it. Ghost Stories number something. I'd have to open it up to show you the number. And I'd open up these books, but I've got a limited time schedule here. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. I think I already have this too, but I got it again if I don't have it. Spider-Man teaming up with Doc Savage. There he is. It's kind of hard to see Doc Savage there on this cover. He kind of blends in with the guy's arm. This is a really cool cover. I like the yellows and reds. The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves. Yeah. Until this very moment, Fred and Cleo Dawes had no inkling that there was anything different about the old house which they've just bought. The apparition you see here has no intention of permitting them to move in. Yeah, see, it's looks like Doctor Strange just telling you this exposition. Yeah, and that looks like a little bit like a Spider-Man. Obviously, it's Steve Ditko. Get out or I'll kill you. Anyway, so Steve Ditko left Marvel to go to Charlton. Had political differences with Stan Lee and didn't like... Really, the argument was over the Green Goblin, from what I understand. He just thought... He didn't like that... He thought it was he just thought it was pushing it too much that the Green Goblin just happens to turn out to be Peter Parker's best friend's dad. And he also was a follower of Ayn Rand and her philosophy, and she believed that there's good and there's bad and there's no shades in between. And to have someone that's, that was her whole deal. I don't know if I have this issue of Commandy. I got it. case. It's just in good shape, I think. Not sure if I have all the Iron Jaws from Atlas Comics, but I'm not sure if I have the first issue of the Barbarians, which was an anthology comic from Atlas. Atlas was a comic book company created to spite Marvel. They were trying to drive Marvel out of business, was what they were hoping. Because Martin Goodman was the publisher of Marvel. He thought his son, Chip Goodman, was going to become the publisher. And so, and then it turned out they put Stan Lee in as the publisher. So he was ticked off. He says, I'll start my own company and I'll do better than Marvel. And it was a company that looked a lot like Marvel, and they got a lot of great creators, and I guess they gave them the ability to own their art or something, so they or paid them more or whatever. But anyway, the Atlas it didn't even last 6 months. I don't think there's any issue of an Atlas comic or magazine that lasted more than 4 issues. Maybe one of them got to 5. They did an Archie parody knockoff too. That's the one that's apparently really hard to get. And speaking of Archie, here's a Little Archie I got for $2.50. I like Little Archie. If you don't like Little Archie, it's because you've never read a Little Archie. They're very good. Or maybe you've read them and you just don't like it, It's to me being arrogant. This is the 51st issue of Little Archie. What the hell is going on there? Okay. So, fantastic. I hope I don't already have this, but if I don't already have it, I have it now. The Invaders number 6. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. When you guys file this comic in your that's providing you have this comic in your collection, do you file it under L for Luke, C for Cage, H for Hero for Hire, which was really its title? You see up here, behind the dot, it says Hero for Hire. That's what it says in the indicia, or whatever you pronounce that stupid word. Or do you file it under P for Power Man? It's just one of those things that, where do you file it? Forget it, knife thrower. Those things won't save you from power like mine. Wait till he learns my next blade is designed to electrocute him. So that's number 16. Again, from the 20-cent era. Wonderful. I think I already have this. It's Fantastic Four 158. It's Zemu, not to be confused with, what is it that the I probably shouldn't even say their name. The L. Ron Hubbard religion, isn't that Xenu? This is Zemu. It's a different alien. There's Luke Cage, Power Man. They've changed it. See, now it says up here Power Man. It was Hero for Hire. Which, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, immediately I can tell it's Ernie Chan, one of my favorite artists. Ernie Chan, also known as Ernie Chua, has a great style, had a great style. 4-star spectacular, number 1. Again, I think I already have that, but I just got it again. And got this Morbius. I don't think I have this comic. I think I'd remember this creature with all the eyes. I don't know that this is going to go up in value. I would not speculate on it. I'm not going to pretend to be Comic Tom and speculate and tell you to speculate on Morbius, because I have a feeling, I don't know if that movie's going to be popular or not. It's like all these people that went out speculating on the Eternals and got their they got their comics CGC'd, and then they're worth a third of what they did a couple of months ago, before people saw how terrible the movie is. I have no interest in seeing that movie. I really don't. But yeah, because Marvel's been shooting blanks, but Spider-Man is great. But it's actually, they got the Sony logo at the beginning. It's actually a Sony movie, not a Disney movie. Okay, now we're into a different collection. This collection appeared 2 days ago from some little old lady. Bunch of horror comics. Not in the best of condition, but wonderful nonetheless. Ghostly Tales number 118. Some kid wrote 15 cents up there. They're trying to sell it at a garage sale. This is a book I already have, but I got it again. I bought it when I was a kid. Uncanny Tales from the Grave. Damn this light. Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders. This comic has ties to the later Marvel universe, and that they fight Hydra, and Ben Grimm appears in one, I don't think in the first issue, but he appears in one of the issues, as his World War II human self, years before he becomes the Thing. Unexpected. I have another copy of this as well. UFO Flying Saucers. Yeah. Howler Mouse last night on Graphic Man's channel said that almost every collection around 77, 78, everybody's collection had this comic in it, and then it just kind of disappeared. But these weird pig-looking aliens, he said it was just ubiquitous. There's that fancy word, ubiquitous. That it was everywhere. Kind of like everybody has a copy of Sergeant Pepper in their collection. I think that's what he used as the equivalent. Here's the Twilight Zone. It's not painted like normal gold key covers. This one looks more like, what is that, watercolor? I prefer the painted look. This is an issue of X-Men that all the Comic Tom people are saying that you should speculate on, because it is pretty cool, the cover. Very, very much the look of the 90s animated cartoon series. That was a great series. Ghost 37. They're about to revive that 90s series, but I'm sure they'll mess it up somehow. Here's Ghostly Haunts number 48. I like this witch character that tells the stories. This is the artist that drew E-Man, which is a great superhero series from Charlton that everybody forgets. I don't ever hear anybody talk about E-Man. It was later revived in the late 70s, but I forget what independent company, maybe First, Pacific, something like that. I had this issue as a kid, and this one's been fucked. I just got it as part of the collection, but it's got all these cut marks in it. I didn't notice. Someone was they were cutting with an X-Acto blade and were using this as the mat underneath. Or maybe it was used as a cutting board in a kitchen. I don't know. It's Little Lotta. Music. Here's a Donald Duck of the Great Boxcar Robbery. I think there's something else I wanted to show you. That did that in the last show. I turned it up and it said Chris. I'm just trying not to get copyright strikes, but I'll get one. I guarantee you I already have one. What it does is just says copyright strike under your video. When I look at it, it says copyright strike, and all that means is this video can never be monetized. I mean, they could put commercials in front of it, but I won't make any money from it. But that isn't going to happen anyway because I have 323 subscribers. I think I have enough time, views, and I have enough people, hours of people watching. But I just have you also have to have 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. And I don't have that many. I have 323. And I don't know how to get beyond that. It might just be that I get too political too often. I don't see how you can't when the country's disintegrating around you and you're here showing comic books like a fucking idiot. Vault of Evil. More Vault of Evil. The White House Vault of Evil. Where Monsters Dwell, #1. And these are all 50s or early 60s reprints. Okay. This Sinatra over. Say ah. All right. Where Monsters Dwell, #14. How about that one? Horrible, horrible looking monster. Frightening. This is a beautiful cover. And again, that same kid tried to sell this for 15 cents and was unsuccessful. Steve Ditko Hippies. Yes, indeed. House of Secrets, #94. This was a collection of a kid that loved horror, but was unsuccessful at selling his comics at a garage sale. So therefore, they all wound up with me all these years later. I'm starting to get in a hurry because I'm hungry. Sorry. This is a House of Mystery #249. For a little while, they made their logo a little smaller. What's going on there? Ghost is trying to kill him. See when that happens. Weird Mystery #17. It's somebody's turned into an alligator or a crocodile. I used to know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. One of them has a more pointy nose. I think it's the crocodile. All right. There's Joe Biden's wedding. House of, no, it's Midnight, The Witching Hour, #67. House of Secrets, 130. Damn. Wonderful. It's more Vault of Evil. You should have fled when I killed your boyfriend, female. Now there are 2 feasts for a vampire. Can you believe this? I wonder. Oh, sorry. I don't know how to do this, man. Pathetic. There we go. Shit. It's #11. Uncanny Tales from the Grave, #12. Oh no, now my lantern's flickering. I gotta make sure this lantern works for when they turn off our electric. They're already promising it'll happen. Okay. Oh, another Christmas issue. How about that? I didn't have this. Shit. Oh, bye, shit. I didn't have this one in the last Christmas episode, so now I do. So now you see it. It's Vault of Evil number 18. It's the new Millie the Model. There, that wasn't so bad, was it? No, I enjoyed it. Enjoyed what? The ride didn't start yet. Oh my goodness, these hippie idiots are raining on their parade. They're destroying their vibe. The Dead of Night, number 7. Welcome, welcome, Hugh Carter. Welcome to hell. Looks like the mall where I saw Spider-Man. Journey into Mystery, number 3. So have you guys all done your Christmas shopping? Wearing your little masks because you don't want to catch the Voltron variant. Vault of Evil, number 10. Or is it the Optimus Prime? I can't remember. There's Vault of Evil, number 16. That's what they all say. Yeah, if I don't see you guys again before Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. All the great, wonderful friendships I made this year, virtually through the internet here on YouTube. Yeah, and all that stuff. Christmas is a wonderful time. That, I mean, you really. I'm trying to get in the Christmas spirit. It's just. Anyway, it's a wonderful time, and it's a great time, and it's a wonderful, fantastic time. Or something like that. So, anyway, cherish your loved ones and your friendships, and make sure you tell people you love them. And I love you guys out there, all of you that watch this channel, and even people that don't like this channel. And my problem has always been, over the years, I remember back 30, 40 years ago, I'd be in a mall, and it's like, oh, I hate all these people. They're just so idiotic wearing their parachute pants. And I just was always so misanthropic and punk rock, hating everybody. Then you realize, well, that's not the way to go through life. You gotta really, because you start realizing that people are doing the best they can, and these people that are misguided and think Joe Biden's doing the right thing or whatever, or worship Dr. Fauci, they don't know any better, and it's you just gotta. You start realizing you got to be more tolerant, because the other side, I mean, that's how you know that God is real, is because you see the other side and how evil and satanic they are. And then you realize, oh, if they're like that, if they're that complete evil, then the opposite must be real. So I'm being very philosophical. I'm not in a very eloquent mood. You gotta get my ritualistic shame muzzle on, because I'm just kidding. I don't like these face diapers. I think you're supposed to clean it. I don't think I've cleaned this thing in a couple of months. I think it's probably unhealthy. How often do you guys clean your shame diapers? Your slave muzzles. I guess I need to turn off the Christmas music. Oh, that's the wrong button. Well, damn it. Let me see what I can do here. Throw this stuff away. Is everything turned off in here? Looks like it. I know there was something else I wanted to show you, and I'm not thinking what it was. I showed you the Josh Randall bust and the Captain Marvel bust. You saw the new Batmobile from 1950. I showed you the comic book haul. These are the ashes of Daisy and Princess, my beloved pets. This is my mother here. Yeah. Gotta appreciate what you have, guys. There's Pete the cat. Pete the cat is an old veteran. Had him before I met my wife. Pete was around when Princess and Daisy were around. My other man. It's the time of year when you start thinking about life, I guess. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you real soon.